Hello everyone, this is Blender Copy. In this video, I'm going to model a robot and then use random flow to detail it. So the base mesh, I'm going to design the base mesh using um, Creative Flow. So just a simple base mesh, and we're going to let the add-ons do uh, the rest of the work. Draw cuts, pressing T. So to enable the cut through, pressing 2 to activate polygonal. So the thing is, when I'm pressing keys on the model operation, which is where I am at right now, the screencast keys cannot, the screencast key add-on cannot capture the keys that I'm pressing in the model operation. So I'm telling you, I'm pressing. So number 2 to go polygonal, and shift to activate snapping in 45 degrees. You can change the snap angle using the arrow keys, and it will um, go up and down in increments of 5 degrees. So mostly I just use 45 degrees. So pressing shift will allow you to use the uh, snapping. Okay, let's bring in some mirror, and with this one, inset, pressing B, so it gets rid of the actually pressing B, inset, press S. Right here is the settings. So we're looking for even thickness. So I don't think there's one. So we need this to be actually straight. But there's a way to do that. So inset, select the spaces and S to scale. Press Z to lock it to the Z axis, and then press 0. Whoops. This one first. SZ 0. Okay. And this one as well. SZ 0. And this one. Okay. We're going to apply the mirror. So in the next update, apply mesh. You can see that in the description, control click to apply mirror modifier only. So control. So this key event will be in the next update. Control from before in your version, which is the old version, when you click on the apply mesh, and the only mirror option can be found in the F9 in the redo panel by pressing F9. But in the upcoming update, you can just use the event trigger without actually calling the redo panel. So control click to just, so for example, if you have the mirror modifier and bevel and other stuff here, and you only want to apply the mirror modifier, then you can use the key event. Control click like that. And then we're going to scale this to 0 as well, or flatten using loop tools. Flatten. Okay. Now these are straight, and re place the mirror again. Okay. Now we're going to quantify this tangent, selecting the direction using the tangent property. 0.01. Actually, I can remove this and this as well. We have quads here. Okay, let's make this quad, doing that. And this one here should also be a quad. So you can actually do that, I think, with edges, quad slice. No face is selected. Quad slice, edges. Okay. We're going to make this straight. Let's see if we can make this straight. Other connections. That, where did this come from? Like that. And not edges, verts. And here as well. All faces. Here we go. S- So I'm basically trying to quantify the mesh before using it, because the random operators only operate on quads. Most of the random operators operate on quadratic geometry. And quantifying the geometry is actually a good exercise. Let's try it again. So you can quantify this one here. You can of course slide that to make it look like that, but I want it to be straight because the randomized topology follows the shape of the faces. So we want it to be at least straight like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Although some geometry cannot be helped, we can just leave some as, what is it? There you go. Leave some as tries. So tries can be subdivided by the script. The only thing that's not going to be subdivided are ingons. And quick check. So it doesn't cross over. That means we have ingons. Oh, this face is an ingon. See that? See, it doesn't cross over because this face is an ingon, and this is the culprit. Um, we may have to, if we try and make it straight, it's going to do that. It's okay. Let's try. Okay, click to snap A and C to cut through. Okay, and this one as well. A and C to cut through. A is snap angle and C is cut through. So I was using the vanilla function, the knife. There we go. And so makes this is quad. And yeah, for this one, we're just gonna let this one go because it's actually one, two, three, four. Okay, let's save this as robot sir one. And when we try and insert a loop, you can see that it goes all the way and it's not stopped. Okay, we need this to be straight. Let's just cut a knife here. A and C. This one. Okay, this one we're going to cut right here. A and then C again. And this is an end one. And we're going to actually one, two, two. A and C. So we're just actually crossing in guns all over the place. So we might need to just capitulate and leave some as triangles. Okay, that codifies it. Okay, and this one, I want to keep the subdivision. Just stop it. Make it stop it right here. Okay. Well, actually, to let's just leave it at that. And since I'm going to use partition mesh, and this process will be most of the design I will be using this will be destructive, so we don't have to actually worry about the topology too much. So this is not straight. You can see the lines here, the sharp line. That means that the topology is not straight like flat faces. And loop tools, flatten. There we go. Now let's make the leg, draw faces, press C on the surface. So we create the using this view angle, we create the um, draw object on that position, on that distance, like that. Okay, draw faces, pressing 4 to use the strips, control AD to increase the thickness. So right now it's conflicting with the snap, but probably change it to shift. Shift is, wait, shift is, yeah, shift is actually the snap, and control is actually element snapping, not degree snapping like shift. So yeah, the foot. Okay, so this is just oops. Um, enter. Oh, actually the wait. We didn't press C. C on this. The size So the last one is actually considered still as a point. So just shift and maintaining this position, press space, pressing X. So with the way in operation, press T to activate. Solidify offset, you can see that plus shift is of course, wait, solidify offset. Alt mouse drag plus shift is slow down the operation. So we need to uh, T, T to reset. We need to use the Alt 1, 2, 3 hotkey. So Alt 1, this will make the offset -1, 0. For Alt 1, -1, Alt 2 is 0, Alt 3 is +1. So we need this -1. So from this position, you can see that, oops, it sticks when we operate or manipulate or modify the thickness. It goes out to this direction, whereas Alt 2, which is from the center, or Alt 3, +1, like that. So we need this direction. Okay. And we need another one of these in here. So this is just a base. We're going to design it further. And let's see. Base. Oops. We didn't use the we didn't set the surface location. That, and we need them to be the same. So for the solidified thickness, for them to be the same, since the draw operator cannot do that, we can do the draw modifiers and the thickness. Control C to copy this, and then go here. Control Shift X, draw modifiers. Control V. Now they are the same thickness. Okay, now we need to um, let's just extend this towards the ground. We need them to have the same, basically have the same length. So I'm just gonna join them, and in edit mode, deselecting everything, go to draw cuts. I'm going to set the distance or the marker or the origin point from which the draw object will be made. So press C, and or cube, you can use the cube shape, and then XF. Now they have the same height or length. Now we just need to design this. Just your basic stuff. So this is still using the solidify modifier. So it's easier for us to just draw stuff and use subtraction method to basically take away from the shape and to draw the design. So Shift E to align the viewport to this edge here, and we can draw via the view angle. And then to repair the view, just press 1 in numpad. So basically 1 is the front, or 3 for the side view. 3 or control 3. 3 is, I think, right. Control 3 is left. Anyway, yeah, control 3 is right, control 3 is left, and 1 is front, control 1 is back. 7 is up, control 7 is down. Then we need to design something on the inside. Can we add something here? So this is the this subtractive into if we need to add something on the shape, we can create supporting vertices and then just so we can use the shift 7 the numpad to bring it like that, and then we're going to change the view the transform orientation to view. So it goes that way, and 3 again to repair the face, and set this back to global. That's how you can create those shapes. Okay. Draw cuts. Pressing Control to activate snapping. So the only disadvantage with this is that you have this extra line that you need to remove like that when cutting. So the verts, we can separate this and give this a different thickness. Draw modifiers and give this a different thickness like that. And yeah, let's all we need to do now is quadify this. Quad slice. There we go. And remove the stuff or the edges that we don't need. Actually, we need this to be straight. And this one as well. Oops. Probably this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Why is it doing that? Yo. Uh, what are you doing? It's supposed to. What? So the graphics is wrong. Could be a bug. That's um related to the solidify modifier. So applying the mesh, we have that. So it's now, and then increase the resolution here, and then reestablish the mirror, and then the next one. Selecting this face, press Shift 7 in the numpad to basically set this. Let us view the face or set the angle of the viewport to view the face directly. So we can do this. We can use quad slice and use the view option. Okay, 0.005, 0.01. Let's just use 0.01. And then 3 to pressing any of the numpad 7, 3, and 1. 1, 3. Oh, yeah, 7, 3, and 1 to repair the viewport after we solve words. Do not dissolve words. So when you use X and then delete edges, I don't know. Wait a minute. X dissolve edges. Okay. X dissolve edges. F9 for the redo panel. This always reverts back to on. every time you use the operation. So when I click this, you can see that uh, it's now off. But when I use it again, dissolve edges. Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, they changed it. So in the previous versions of Blender, that always defaults to on every time you reuse the operator. Okay, this one. Do we need this one? No, probably not. Wait, this. We don't need this one. And this one. We don't need as well. Oh, it reverts back. Why did it revert back that time? Well, yeah, it still reverts back. Third. Um, quad slice, edges, tangent. Let's just use the I'm going to use, oh, there's a budget. This as well. One, two, three. Yeah, we need to capitulate on some of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is 1, 2, 3. This one is in gone. There we go. And to make it to make these quads, okay. Shift 7, a a C. Actually we don't need to use the C. Bevel. Whoa. Shift 7. There we go. Great. So I want you to watch this because don't shy away from manipulating the or repairing the topology because it's actually really fun. Go and reestablish mirror. Okay. Now for the other foot. The other foot. Draw cuts. Shift. Get near to this edge, especially in the middle of the edge, and then Shift E to. Oh. Hmm, um. Let's repeat it. We applied the topology, and we joined this earlier, so yeah, it's no longer using the solidify modifier. So Shift E again, and then press T to cut through the mesh, and At least you'll know when you encounter this, you'll know what to do to repair it. So XF to delete the faces. Then if you don't have it already, go to user preferences in the add-ons. So control comma, and in the add-ons enable the mesh if to add-on, so you can just select an edge or a corner vert and develop a face from that. So what we're going to do is select from this edge and F, 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 F. There you go. Actually, that's too sharp. Let's join it here and remove the doubles. Okay. I'm going to create another one here. So I'll create this bump. This time we're going to Shift 7 and then change the transform orientation to view and as y0, straighten them as y0 and extrude it on the x-axis. So in the view, it's like Cartesian. You only have x and y. You don't have the z-axis. Okay. Repair the view using number 3 and then go back to global orientation. Then you have that. Go to save. Oop. Oh my god, I forgot. Okay. Uh, let's still repair this. We can repair this. Let's see. L and separate selection. Then apply the mesh. Get rid of this. And then W for the specials menu. Set origin to geometry. Establish the mirror. This. That. And then we can just join these words here. Where's that? Click. And then click, change the view, and then do this. And then select this. F. Oh, that's that. Maybe this is maybe this no, it's not duplicate. We just do this and there we go. F in the corner word and then do that. Then by distance remove it. Okay. Apply the mirror. Okay. Control click apply mesh. Shift S cursor selected, then W again. And selecting this object W, go to set origin to 3D cursor, and reestablish the mirror. There we go. Basic stuff. Just a lot of clicking. So pressing T, draw, pressing T to activate cut through, and control. So control click to create a point, and it will also snap onto elements like verts, middle of edges, or middle of faces. So we can just draw stuff. And just delete this encompassing vert. Okay. Selecting this edges. Use select loop in a region. It's in the select menu right here. And select loops and select loop in a region. You can go ahead and right click on this and add to favorites, just like I'm using. So select loop in a region. You can press F9 to bring up the review panel and invert the selection right here. Or um, use Control I to invert the selection. Okay, so P and selection. This is no longer using the solidify modifier, so I will just scale it like that. Then repair the faces here using the F2 add-on. Selecting the corner verse and pressing F. And for the last bit, I didn't use the corner vert because it will be separated from this vert here. So instead, I use this edge here and pressed F. There we go. This one as well. Ac- I was actually thinking it has the mirror, so it didn't have the mirror. Okay, and then the other one, and then this side here. There we go. So we quadded the base mesh, not quadded. Should as well. Actually, oh no, we haven't quadded the guys. We need to do this. We shift 7 and creative flow. Random flow also has this, but it's in the mesh. I just like to in the mesh submenu. I just like to use creative flow because it's in the open. The operator is in the it's not located in the submenu. It's directly in the main menu. So selecting everything. Whoops. Uh, okay, not everything. This one. Quad slice tangent. Selecting the tangent. It's doing separate tangents for. Oh, let's just use the view and it's the 0.005 or 0.001. Is this coming? What or what? Oh, what is this? I forgot what this is for. Split location on selected edge. Oh, so I'm using edges. That's why. Let's use verts. 0.005. That's why there's too many lines. I was probably using verts on the other one. Edges. The other one as well. Okay, preparing the view and yeah, I'm just using the diamond technique to qualify the verts and this, this. So that's quad. Um, wait a minute. Oh my god. I didn't do the. Sorry about that. I should have clicked the all faces or linked. There we go. So the lines also gets created on the other side. One, two, three, four. K, and actually K for knife, then A and C, A, K, A and C. You can actually just leave some as in gone. Okay, why didn't it? A and C. There you go. Okay, C. Delete this and K, A and C. Delete this. So this is triangle. You can modify that using this line. So this line here. Then this one here, going to connect on the other side. K, A and C. Let's delete this. No, don't modify it using this. Shift A and C. There you go. Okay, this one, Shift 7 and quad slice using view 3. So I deleted this. In order to straighten this out, I just deleted it. Control X and then clicked on this vertex, then pressed J. So now they're straight. Just a really quick solution. This is already what you call it, quad. A and C. The A and C. Sometimes the angle doesn't, the angle snapping uh, doesn't cooperate. Click on this, press J to connect. Just be careful with that. It depends on the closeness of those elements together. So sometimes it goes around the other way. And yeah, removing this and so this, but not this. One, two, three, four. Bearing topology is really fun. a triangle here, we can leave it. We can just sacrifice some triangle universe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And yeah, get rid of this so I can bring in two loops. Okay. I guess we're, what about this one? Yeah, we can just leave it as, I know, cause some trouble. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I will redirect this towards the top. A and C. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But we get a triangle here. So I'm going to redirect this towards that. I forgot to activate C again. That, and get rid of this. Uh, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Really good. Okay. Now save this data. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look, mesh. This can operate on multiple objects selected. Save. So 5 mesh data save. And when you save Blender, those get saved in the file. And if you open Blender up, uh, you can reuse those data by selecting an object and then using data use matches zero geometry from 5 saved mesh data. Let's see. Okay, it's the foot. Okay, let's try the presets that I made in the uh, previous video. Merge heavy destructive. I'm going to just straight up use it and not use partition mesh. But let's see. Increasing this, increasing the distance of the split. You can see the spikes in the, that is based on the sharp angles. You can just use split to get rid of that. Yeah, let's do more. So the lesser the panel size, the smaller the panel size, the more detail there will be. Depending on the, also depends on the subdivision that you're using. And we just need to, you know what? Let's use partition. Um, the update is close. So what you're seeing, you will be doing this, or you will be able to emulate this video in a couple of days. So I have already multi-filed all of the add-ons. All that's left is really the shading feature. Shading feature. I will add like 2 more materials to this, and then uh, move on from that in the proceeding updates in the future. Once I finish the documentation. The documentation after the update is the priority. Let's try 30, 40. And I hope I do it well because yeah, everybody wants a good documentation. Okay, let's use wrap. It's good. We can try and stick with that or not. Let's look for other ones. Okay. So good thing about this update is that you can, let's see, minus 0.03. This is 0.03, positive 0.03. Play around with the depth seed. Good thing about this is that you can just click and press Shift R to repeat the operation. But in this case, I need to increase the subdivision and also the file size. Okay, that looks good. That looks uh practical to the that looks like prediction design to the mesh that we're to the design that we're trying to do. So don't forget to play around with the panel size to create rest areas. So in my timeline videos, you see me just I use the put details everywhere. So this is actually good. Let's get this accidental three dots there, but it's good. But the other details are kind of uh too chaotic. So let's look for something else. Actually, we can do 100. Okay, okay, this looks, okay, I don't like this part. This is why using mostly straight edges will be better because the randomization is based on the topology and the shape of the faces. The topology and the resolution. Let's, okay, I forgot to, let's say this is 60. Okay, this looks good. Okay, and let's move on. The other one, Shift R. I'll play around with the seed. Let's just split on this part just to avoid the okay, it looks good. Just to avoid the spikes. And there here as well. Increasing the, looking for something that works with the other parts. Okay, not too overly detailed. Random panels. We can just split it again after to create more detail. So for those who don't like the longer videos, just take time watching it. And eventually, once you learn the add-on and also Blender, you don't need to actually hear my explanation. You can just mute the video and then play it faster. So you know, because already know what's going on. You're just watching the model stuff. Okay, we've been stuck here for like a few minutes. Okay, looks good. We can just edit some of it later. You can also use the most basic or just lower subdivision and let the add-on create some really basic shapes for you. Okay, this looks good. And you can just model those shapes further after the randomization. Biradial square. There we go. And the other parts, the spikes, because of this, because of the topology or the design of the mesh. So we can use turn off even offset. It's going to do that. Slightly happening. It's probably happening because of this arrangement of these faces here. Yeah. We need to do something about this. Wait a minute. I already split it. Split. That's not happening. Probably because of the margin. Just too much. I was using 80. There we go. It's the margin. Actually, we can bypass this. Just make it a rest area. 60. Go. Join them. So just delete this face there. We have this random vertex color, gray color, sharp, mark sharp. We can dirty the vertex color. There we go. So that is our body. Now we need to do the foot, and all that already looks over complicated. Increase the subdivision. That looks good. And wrap method, no wrap, no wrap. Okay, so increase the subdivision to 1. That looks good already. Selecting the faces. You need face selection, otherwise again it's going to warn you that you don't have face selection. And the basic, when you first install the add-on, the basic workflow is in the settings in the show usage info. Click on this and it will show you the basic workflow using the add-on. Performing some commands will finalize last action and scrub the redo panel from list. In user preferences, you can use the confirmer. Okay. Settings, you can turn off that. There. Random panels. Sometimes I just sometimes there's just too many um good combinations that I get stuck. Sometimes just get stuck on not selecting anything because there's so many good patterns. I just get stuck looping over the. This is good. Basically, just playing around with panel set until it goes to like 1000 because I can't choose. I can't select because most of them are looks really good. Uh, random vertex color, sharp and dirty. Okay, this is our robot. Okay, really fast unwrap smart UV project. Okay, and then I'm going to append the material that I used. I'm not gonna focus too much on the shading in this video. Where is that? Okay, I think you can use this material grunge metal. Selecting all the mesh types, assign material grunge metal, and then test render. Let's try and give it a floor. Of course, selected plane. If you're going to use this for close-up renders, you need to after the randomization, you might need to use less details than I did. So after the randomization, you can manually model some parts to make it look better or more realistic. So basically, adding more details like this or something like that. So you are essentially letting the add-on create a second more complicated base mesh that you can build upon. Okay, where is the what is this? Okay, it's the let's name this floor and go to the base color of the floor and make it darker. Okay, where's the detail of the shader? I think I used, oh no, I did not use any detail. Uh, this already looks good, kind of. There we go. This is with the vertex color. So in order to make this more realistic, uh, w- we already have some great details with this. And all you need to just do is go in and add stuff like screens here. We can get rid of the quad structure, dissolve faces. Why did it do that? Not that, limited dissolve. And don't mind the in gun, just draw the geometry and edit that. So it's still, yeah. So phoning screens, but for now, let's just keep the quad structure. So you can use the quad structure to model some more detail, and then you can lose it and then just draw additional details from this base. But I'm not gonna model this further. I'm just going to use bump So actually, what's the bump? Use texture to create the additional details. Displacement is one here. UV. Control this with a color ramp and set this here to normal. So basically adding the map. So from before, in order to add the effects of the normal informations, you need to use Vector Math, but in the newer versions of Blender, all you need to do is attach them to the normal input of the last node that affects the normal of the BSDF shader. So bump and set this to height. Let's use 6 for now. Okay. One is good. We can still, so adding this is bump, we can also add this or multiply this to the texture and then control it with color ramp. Multiply, then adjusting the color. Then let's use cube mapping. Let's try cube mapping. Let's bring in some lights using the same texture here as well. Um, Actually, it's too big. We're just gonna use the new preset I did for random cells. Let's try and use that. But first, let's add an emit here, emission shader, emission, and let's not assign it to any of the faces. We're going to inherit this. We're going to let the random cells inherit this. So let us see the effect. Okay, that looked good. Okay, this one as well. Okay. It didn't happen because we didn't have the, let's add the emission and use 5 on 5 and play around with the policy. Last one. Okay, that's good. Now all we need to do is manipulate the lighting. Or play around with the lighting. Okay, let's try and use this and render. Yeah, yeah. This is good for mid range, but also in close range as well. But you need to go in and edit some stuff. I think the legs are good, but with the body, I think some parts needs more work, more hands-on work. So, but basically the randomization is already looking good. You can just subtract or add with the result of the randomized design. Yes, let's let's try an upward angle. Can't see the foot anymore. 128. Yeah, I think this looks way better if we treat the model as a large object rather than a the size of a dog. Yeah, I think this looks better if it's this big. But of course, the way we design the legs, this is going to be a static model. So if you want this to be animated, you need to design the legs better than I did. You need to actually design it for animation. The way I designed it is the way I designed the legs is for static poses or static pose. You can't hear it, but my background is filled with karaoke songs because it's Christmas here where I am, and my neighbors are all drinking and singing karaoke. But you can't hear it because of the noise cancellation. Only I am sorry for that burden. Yeah, it looks better being a big object rather than a small object. And yeah, so yeah, we spent some time qualifying the base mesh, but that's worth it because the randomization worked with it as well. Okay, so this is for this. This is it for this video, and if you have any questions, use the comment sections below or the links in the description. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.